Welcome to this new video where we're going to talk about news regarding Assetto Corsa EVO. Since April 11th, 2025, the game's developers released a new video sharing plenty of details about its future and upcoming content. There are plenty of good news, and I think the developers emphasized in this video that they are listening to the community and its feedback, which is really important. There's a bit of bad news though, which is that, for now, we still don't have, unless I'm mistaken, a release date for the next update. So, all the things we're going to go over in today's video, well, actually, we don't really know when they're coming, even though, in my opinion, it shouldn't be long. Today, we'll cover all the news about Assetto Corsa EVO in this video. Sorry about the audio in this video. I have a cold, so you might notice it, but I'll do my best. Alright, well, here we go. Let's get started with this debrief of the Assetto Corsa EVO news. The trailer opens with the developer's so-called apologies, as Masaruto immediately says, "We got it wrong." Basically, we messed up when it comes to the game's launch, referring, of course, to all the criticism the game has received since its release, especially regarding optimization. And especially regarding the fact that for quite a long time there were server issues on Assetto Corsa EVO, which meant we couldn't enjoy all the content, which was already pretty limited. Previously, those bugs kept us from joining special events, buying and customizing cars, and enjoying the economy system. It also kept us from joining the Driving Academy challenges, so we couldn't do anything. The studio apologizes and says they've heard the community's feedback. They said they'd listen closely to player feedback to shape Assetto EVO's future. In this video, the developers admit they've fallen behind on releasing Update 2. If I remember right, it was supposed to add the Circuit of the Americas and 5 new cars. But to apologize for the delay of this update, the developers were simply going to add more content to it. For now, we don't know exactly what will be added in this upcoming update. What we do know, however, is that in this new short video, the developers took the opportunity to show quite a few vehicles and several tracks that we had never seen before. So it's entirely possible that in the next update, we'll get everything that was shown there. Or at least a part of it anyway. So in the new tracks that were shown, we see Donington Park, we see the Red Bull Ring, and obviously we also see the Circuit of the Americas. That one is certain, and we're 100% going to have it in the next update. Maybe it will be accompanied by one of the other 2 tracks, we'll see. The developers also revealed 9 new cars in the trailer. With some really cool stuff inside, the Alfa Giulia Sprint Gran Turismo, the Alfa Romeo 75 Turbo Evolution, which personally I find really beautiful. Not a monster with just 155 horsepower, but I think it looks cool. There's a new Caterham, plus the 2004 Ferrari F1, which remains very stylish. F1 cars from the 2000s are just insane, as far as I know. This must be from when F1 cars had V10 engines, so it should be pretty cool to drive. There's the Honda NSXR, Lotus Exige V 6 Cup Maserati, MC20, Gran Turismo 2 race version, and Porsche 911 Turbo, 3.6 liter. Like the Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint Gran Turismo. We already knew it was coming to the game since we had seen pictures of it. And then, well, also a big surprise, the Mack Mercury Sperling, which we'll probably test in a video because I think it's the first time it's officially available in a game. It's an electric car, which I'm usually not a fan of, but this one's built for the track and holds the record at Goodwood. This car accelerates from 0 to 230 km/h in under 5 seconds. It's unbelievable, but true. This car is incredible, and we'll soon see it on Assetto Corsa EVO. Of the car models I mentioned, not all will likely be included in the next update. They'll likely pick 6 or 7 vehicles from that list. I think the rest are planned for a later update. I think, in any case, that there are only good choices. There are only cars that, personally, I want to drive, and only cars that I imagine are pretty great. Great for relaxing in the open world or for intense track use. That's super cool. So, with the next update, there will also be the possibility to customize the starting grids. You can choose your position and, more importantly, which car you'll compete against. The redesigned heads-up display is cool, since the game's default interface isn't very good. There will also be a performance improvement in the next update. Whether it's for regular gameplay, but also for triple-screen setups, as well as for virtual reality mode. That's great, because the game has been demanding so far. There's still a section I haven't figured out yet. It's Masaru Uto talking about the fact that, for now, players considered the game to be fully online, but that the game wasn't actually fully online. So, what's pretty strange is that he also didn't say there would be an offline mode in the game. He said twice it was a mistake to think Assetto EVO is fully online. So, is a full offline mode being developed? Does that mean there will be a part of the game, for example, that will really be fully online? And the rest can be played solo regardless of connection? No idea, but you can tell that's one of the criticisms that often comes up from players. Especially after last year's drama with games losing server access and becoming unavailable. And then, we got quite a lot of news, pretty cool ones, I think. Because the developers are going to change, they're going to tweak the roadmap. The roadmap, you know, is that little calendar you see when you launch the game, which tells you what's happening at certain times in the game. There will be this or that coming out, the roadmap is going to be changed. And we still have two pretty cool pieces of information. The first is that the multiplayer mode will allow players to compete against each other. For now, remember there are only artificial intelligence races or time trials. Multiplayer should arrive at the beginning of summer, and that's what the developers will focus on right after the deployment of update number 2. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we don't have any information yet on when this second update will arrive. It should be here in the next few weeks. After that, Update 3 will likely be a major content update featuring multiplayer. And another piece of good news is that the developers are going to speed up the development of the modding system on Assetto Corsa EVO, so that modding will be available on Assetto before version 1.0. That changed a little bit because originally it was supposed to be the other way around. But I think that, despite the fact that Assetto EVO is actually the best launch of the series in terms of number of copies sold, they noticed player numbers were dropping, except on Assetto 1, which stayed stable due to its thousands of mods. You can add tons and tons and tons of cars, and you can add tons and tons of tracks. You can change everything. I think the devs admit they made a mistake. Setting the mod system aside, it needs to be added quickly to keep players on Assetto EVO. So, we don't have much more information than that for now. We actually don't know at all how the mod system will work. Just a reminder, it should normally be integrated into the game. That's the main difference from regular Assetto. They can't mess up, or recovery will be impossible. Mods are arriving earlier than expected, and multiplayer launches this summer. The next update doesn't have a release date, but it will have more content to make up for the delay. The next update will add new tracks, cars, an optimization patch, and support for triple screen and virtual reality. There you go. Personally, I think it's good news. It's nice to get some updates about the game because I think it had been more than a month and a half since we last heard anything. Let me know in the comments what you think about this little bit of news. I think it's pretty much all positive. Of course, don't hesitate to leave a like on this video and subscribe for future videos, because of course, as soon as the update comes out, I'll be streaming and making videos about it. So don't hesitate to follow me for live streams on Twitch. The Twitch link is below the video, in the description, or in the comments. You can come follow, you can subscribe with Prime. Thank you for watching this video. See you very soon. Bye.